There it goes.
There we go.
Hello.
There's
Hello.
Christina.
Hey,
How you guys doing?
awesome.
Great.
Good. Glad to hear it.
It's a good
Yeah.
week. Good couple days.
Good. Glad to hear that too. I can't wait to hear about it a little more. Uh-oh.
Either.
Judy was showing me her new tree that she just got.
Oh,
He's a cutie. He's a little guy. He's a cutie.
He's a cute little metal guy, and I'm putting some. Where are they? Where's my ball? There, some red balls on it.
oh. We don't have our tree up, but we have our nativity scene out.
There you go.
There it is. You're going to hand me the.
We're working technology tonight. I have actually started the call for Hal and Lisa because they're on the road. So I am their internet connection, and then they are actually going to be coming in from the outside. Technology is amazing.
Wonderful.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, Christina, I love your backdrop there.
There you go.
Look at that! Isn't that
I loaded it
cool?
on there, so it may save it for you. So you've got a new one.
Hey, that's awesome. And hey, that's Linda Painter and Maribel. You guys introduce yourselves to Christina and to the Workmeisters and Judy.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Maribel Torres.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet
Linda-
you.
Where are
I'm
you
Linda
guys
Painter,
coming in from?
and we're
It's a
from
pleasure.
Northwest Arkansas.
Very
Oh,
good.
very nice.
Very nice. So
Welcome.
hopefully we'll get to meet you in person in Dallas.
Yes, I look
Or
forward to
maybe
it.
before. Who knows?
That's
Who
right. Who knows?
And I want to congratulate Maribel as our newest associate as of about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Good, Robert.
Back.
Hey, Linda, where are you guys?
At Maribel's house.
Awesome. I can't keep track of all of Maribel's houses.
Her real house. My real house.
Gotcha.
Yes.
She has Airbnbs, guys, and
Oh, that's
they're
awesome.
really super cool.
How close are they to you, Hal and Lisa?
40 minutes, 45 minutes. They live in Rogers. We live in Farmington.
Okay.
Okay, what about the Airbnbs? And
Rogers.
About the same.
About the same.
About the same.
But
Oh.
hey, you guys, anybody that ever wants to come visit, you need to get in touch with Maribel because she has some sweet Airbnbs.
Way to go anymore.
Sure. Anytime.
Never been.
No. It's nicer than staying in a hotel.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Hey, Jenny, I see you on.
Hello.
Thank you, Robert. Mhm. So,
Hey, guys. Go ahead,
sorry.
Linda.
I was gonna say, is that rabbit, is the only rabbit you have?
Oh, no.
Nope. Ask Helen, Lisa.
Yeah, we have
We all
6.
laugh.
Yeah, we have 6 at our house, and we have 29 silhouettes in our front yard with our nativity scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
that have all been through our house one way or another, and we still have more to go.
Oh yeah.
So
Gina
Yeah.
and
Rabbits.
Sabrina are bunny people. They actually
Yeah.
work with a bunny rescue, and they actually use
Oh.
CBD with them to help with their behaviors and things. So they
Yeah.
got
See, yeah.
CBD, CBG, both.
And dream.
And Dream, Dream.
Mhm.
We use that because our grumpy boy, he had to go get a checkup and vaccine. They now have to have vaccines at the vet. And so I ended up, he had his CBD in the morning, but I gave him the Dream. And when he got home, our girl that cleans the bunny pens, she's like, wow, today he was really good because he didn't even try to grab at us or lunge at me
Yes,
today.
yeah.
So might be a every week thing.
Yeah.
We have rabbits
Kitty
too,
cat.
but they're not pets.
Come right
Oh
here.
yeah. Are they wild or do you eat them?
Let's just say they're in our barn.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well,
We walk a
Well,
very
guys-
fine line.
yeah. And I don't have a problem with that. You know, I'm a
Hey.
hunter,
So
so I'll eat bunnies,
Hey,
just
it's-
not our tame ones.
They helped us during
All right,
lean
guys,
moments.
it's 7 o'clock. We're gonna get
Okay.
started.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Lisa,
Christina.
let you go ahead and go.
Yeah, thank you, dear. And you got us recording?
Yes.
Yes, I see it. I see it.
Okay, there you go.
So
Yes,
good.
I do. There you go.
Well, I want to say thanks. It's so great to have Christina, who is so good with technology, to help us. And Hal and I, well, Hal's driving, God bless him. And have been in St. Louis this weekend. So we're super grateful that Lorena and Jean and their team allowed us to come up. And I'm going to have Hal talk a little bit about how that trip happened. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. No, am I on the speaker up here or on the phone?
Can y'all hear Hal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
you're on speaker.
Well, so we've been to actually it's Arnold, Missouri, which is right southeast of St. Louis, right, guys? Gene, southeast of St. Louis.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
anyway. So we went there before the pandemic back when we were running the roads with Lisa and I all over the country. It's on the way to Evansville from Northwest Arkansas. And we'd made a couple of stops there for house meeting prior to March of 2020 when the pandemic started. And Jean and Lorena have been involved. Of course, they both have a great story, especially Lori with her health. And, you know, they've become leaders in Zalise. They're on the advisory council with Zalise. They've earned that through their consistency, their hard work. They're city ambassadors, which is, you know, blessing bonus that they get to pay each month if they hit that. But they've been through some hard times like all of us have, not only personally with a big storm that came through last year at their house, but also just the change of leadership at Zalise and the pandemic and all of that. But they've just hung in tough. They're very faithful. They have some wonderful people that we got to spend time with, some of them yesterday and today. But the reason that we went to St. Louis this weekend was that I told Gene, I said, you guys hit city 2 months in a row again for the first time in a while. Lisa, or I'm going to come and spend a couple of days with you guys going over Arnold, Missouri, trying to, you know, prospecting, meeting people, just spending the day mentoring, spending time eating with you guys, meet with your team. And they did it. So, you know, when they did it, then I'm going to have to follow through with my commitment and to go spend the day, you know, a couple of days with them up there, just get a hotel. And then I asked Lisa if she'd like to go. She goes, well, I didn't know I was invited. And I'm like, well, sure, it's much better if you go. So we headed out, left about 7 o'clock yesterday morning, about 5.5 hour drive up to Arnold, and met them at the Arnold, Missouri Historical Society event. And we literally we had the best time. You know, you'd be surprised at what you can learn in a town you don't know anything about. You meet people, but it was just great. We saw Rhonda really for the first time, one of their team members, or her son, Daryl, yesterday, spent some time with them. And then we went out to eat last night. And guys, we just had an energy. The fact that we were together, it was amazing. It was kind of like when Susan and Judy came to Northwest Arkansas and stayed with us. And they went out to walk around the park, and they just were like magnets. People just drawn to them. that and Susan, some went and hit on some Harley guy or something. I don't know. Hot Todd. Anyway, but we had a really great time and just the positive energy. Then we had a really nice team meeting today, and Gene cooked out for us on the grill, and they provided a nice meal. We had camel burger, believe it or not, really truly bought camel meat. And anyway, it was a great day. But the point is that the energy of people who are on the rise, like with their emotions, their energy, their belief, their positivity, their personal growth. We had people, especially at the restaurant last night, waiters, waitresses, the manager of the store came over and gave us a book, which is the history of Texas Roadhouse. And he just did it. I mean, there was hundreds of people in that restaurant, and he hung out with us for a bunch in a crowded room and came back and brought a book and autographed it for us simply because we were talking to him, asking him questions about his stuff, about his life. We didn't even mention CBD, but we got probably 8 or 9 different phone numbers and contacts with and for them. And I don't think we hardly mentioned any CBD. We did some a little bit, but it was just about building conversations with people in a community we'd never been to, which I thought, I had to confess to them, I thought Arnold, Missouri was a community of about 1,500. Turns out it's about 21,000, 22,000. Really neat place. I know it's a much bigger than I thought it was. And it's a really cool hotel there that we stayed at that we think we've got some meeting rooms. So I'm just going to let some of y'all know in advance that we're going to start maybe having some meetings pretty soon in a little hotel there in Arnold, Missouri. So
Like a regional event.
like a regional event even. So
It's a great intermediate point. So, so Jean and Lorena, I wanted to just shout out for your leadership, for your consistency. One of the things that I appreciate about you guys, as well as, and it's dark in this car, so I can't really see who all's on this call, but you know who you are. Those of you who have stuck through during the very hard times. And Lorena, I wanted you to just briefly share your Zalise story. Why Zalise? Why are you so passionate about this company? And then I have one other question. Lorena, can you hear
You're
me?
muted, Lorena.
He
Oh.
did.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, I'm trying to keep muted, but well, my story is I have an autoimmune disease. A couple of my friends that have known me for years were really sincerely thought that I was on death's door because of my cognitive thinking, my energy level, my balance, my overall well-being was not good. And so I ended up going to New Harmony, Indiana, and meeting someone, Mary Ellen, and she put drops under my tongue. And I thought maybe I felt something within 20 minutes of the fog had lifted that I hadn't had lift in years. So for the price, I thought, you know what? We're going to try it, see what it does. We'll be a customer. No big deal. So we ended up, I started taking it and it worked. And then then we got CBG. And actually, I met Mary Ellen at the airport and she brought me the CBD and I brought it that next. I started taking that and it was like an octane booster. And I've been going to my neurologist for approximately 30 years. And he had never seen me this healthy as long as he has ever met me. And so there's no way that we would ever stop. And then Edge came along and then they dropped the powder Edge. And I did a 30-day experiment going, okay, am I really feeling this? And so it did. After 2 weeks, the Edge liquid was not working for me. So I waited the 30 days. I got back on it. Then I sent another letter saying, that actually even I was surprised how good it sounded. And it was essentially that Zalise products, because that's all I really take, Zalees products are a puzzle. And if one piece is missing, my life is not the same.
Right.
So then that was when I talked to them, they were very gracious and they had told me they got it. And since then, there's no way we could ever, I can't live without the products.
Right.
So
But
that's,
you're
yeah.
also not on any medications anymore.
Oh no, I'm none, and my neurologist is about to retire, and he told me I can find a new neurologist, and I don't know that I'm going to get another neurologist because everything that I'm not on any medication, so that's, I don't know, and you have a question.
No,
You can
I just
direct
thank
them.
you for sharing. And I just want to make sure everybody mutes their line. I think there's some background noise there.
Audio on this thing.
Hey, Kayla,
Yeah.
can you mute, please?
I haven't played with it a lot, you know?
Kayla, Christina,
Lisa, unmute again.
okay, I got it. So yes, I wanted to say thanks to Lorena for sharing that. And it's very inspirational because we have known Lorena since her very first experience. And one of the beautiful things about getting to spend this kind of time with she and Jean is to see the transformation in somebody. I mean, like night and day. She's lost 30 plus pounds. She's off all her medications for her autoimmune condition. She radiates. I got to watch her talk to people and see how purposeful she is and what she says. And I also got to see how long suffering Jean is.
Jean's lost, and Jean too has lost quite a bit of weight. And I will tell you guys, one of the greatest joys you'll ever see in this business, and it's going to take a while, because it's is to see a couple or a person over time become a much better version of themselves with not only just their health, but how they think, how they communicate with people, how they understand life and business. And Jean and Lorena Workmeister are like, they're trophies in this business as far as like, they have just become something so much more than they were when we met them. And, you know, I mean, I can't brag on them enough. I can't say enough about them. They've become dear, precious friends to us. As a matter of fact, Jean and I made arrangements, kind of temporary, for me to go back up there sometime and help him rebuild the shed that the tree fell on the roof. And we're going to spend a weekend together redoing that because of the relationship that we have through this business. And I want to do that. You know, I want to take some time and just do that with my friend. I didn't have that with Jean. We just knew them through this business. And so to me, this weekend with some people who deserve our time and extra time because of the work that they've done faithfully, the team that they've built, the love they've given to others, the sacrifices they've made, they deserve for us to come and just really spend some time with them and really help them build their area. And we joyfully want to do that. Like, this is what it's about. It's about the people we met with today that we never would have met had it not been for Jean and Lorena. And I want y'all to look to them as role models. Every one of you on this call can look to this couple. And many of you have known them almost the whole time they've been involved. But they truly are role models for everyone who's starting out at a place that didn't know how to do this, and they're becoming better at it. They really are. So anyway.
And, you know, to add to that, I agree with everything Hal has said, but when you take this on and say, you know what, I'm going to go from just loving a product and being transformed by a product to bringing this to the world, it takes a lot of courage to go back to kindergarten to learn how to do that. And you guys have demonstrated a humility, a willingness to learn. And I would love to hear just from both of you what you kind of learned about the experience over the last 24 hours, if anything.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lisa, helps. We both love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate your time. We respect you guys so much for where you've been, what you've done, and what you're willing to do to help us, to make our lives better, And yeah, we got a chance to watch both of you, just talk to people, listening to your verbiage, what you said, how you said it. And the main thing I got out of the whole weekend, it's not about us. It's about the people. Find out what they want and help them get it. So
Wow, that's well
that's
said. Well said, Gene. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
How about you, Lori? Anything that you want to add?
Tears.
I lots and lots of tears of thanks. And just that if it weren't for our leadership,
Yeah.
We're in a place that I would have never dreamed of. And I said something to Hal and Lisa, and I'm like, and it just kind of came out, and I was caught. And I can see further up the mountain now, and they give us that. And in their critique, which I hope that I'm not the only one, that I love the good, but I also need to know what I need to improve. And they definitely helped with that. And, but
Yes.
thank you for loving us even when we're no matter what, and even if.
Yeah. When we're not lovable. Thank
Well,
you.
you guys showed so much love for your team. We loved getting to hang out with everybody today, and I was honestly blown away. And it's a reminder to all of us that live interaction, whether it's with a meeting that we're all, coming to, or in this case, we were just out hanging out in the field, just talking to people. And when we went to the Texas Roadhouse and stopped traffic in that one section of the restaurant, and you guys had Astral and Ariana,
Astrid.
Astrid
and Ariana. Yeah, it's hard to.
We had a first thing happen where people that you had met that worked there
at the restaurant
came to our table and invited all of us to their house afterwards. That was crazy.
And we just it was just conversation. We just loved on the people that we were just meeting and made them honestly, genuinely feel important. And this waitress said, "Come to my condo." And of course, she wanted us to see her condo because it was cool. But
she wanted us to see
she wanted us to meet her daughter because we had something to offer her daughter. And literally, we went over there. Now, Hal sat in the car a little bit, watched the Georgia-Alabama game, and I was also helping my daughter with a real estate contract and some other things on the phone. But you guys were there for 2 hours in the evening, and it was just a magical day, meeting so many wonderful people because everybody was in the field together, not trying to prospect. It happened, but we were just meeting the community, just like asking people questions. Who are you? What are you interested in? Why are you working here? Just the things that we've been learning if you listen to Bo, but also the things that Lisa and I have been teaching, they got to see us actually do. And they were doing it too, but they were learners. They were students.
Yeah, I was really impressed, and it was awesome. So those of you guys who have goals, let's put those goals down in writing, because this all started with Gina and Lorena's goal of hitting city 3 consecutive times and hitting that triple generational bonus. And we're here. We learned so much from you guys, and we love doing life with y'all. So thank you guys so much for hosting us. And it's worth. We knew we were gonna, be on the road.
I got one more comment. So I'm going to say this, and you guys, it's not going to offend anyone because Gene and Lorena will not be offended. But when we first met them, I'll tell you, I couldn't ever see them driving a very fancy car. Gene's driving a truck, and Lorena's going to be driving a van with the bunny stickers all over it. Okay.
Yeah.
So they both with a little sticker of Zalise on the back. All right. So that's where they started. Well, you know, Lorena lost some weight. She started dressing different. She started carrying herself different. Then Jean caught on and said, I better do the same. So we meet them yesterday. They have not earned a Jeep in Zalise, okay? But they pull up yesterday and we go to this historical society building and so forth. And about after an hour in there eating too many cookies, talking to too many people, Gene goes, you want to see our car? And I go, oh yeah, I've heard about it. I've seen a picture. He goes, what's out in the parking lot? So Gene and Lorena are driving the slickest black leather sunroof BMW 4-door, and they just look like different people driving that thing.
Sure do.
I mean, they have just. Gene, do you ever think you see yourself driving that BMW?
You know, it's been a dream. Years ago when I was in Amway, I wanted a 325i, red, white interior, you know, white leather interior with a drop top. And I don't quite have a red car with white interior yet, but this is my training BMW.
Well, I tell you what, they still got the truck, they still got the van, and now they got the BMW sitting in the driveway.
Yeah.
You make that car look good.
You guys make that car look great, and it's just you know, it's a change of mindset for them, and it's not all about the car because they didn't pay that much for it. Matter of fact, they didn't pay much at all, but it's just a great, beautiful car that I think God has gifted them and rewarded them for their hard work in a way that they weren't expecting. Because it's really not about driving a fancy car. It was almost like a gift to them at the price they got it from one of their team members' sons or something. And, but it's just a really beautiful part of the story that it's not a Jeep, but it's a car that they could proudly pull up and say, you know, we've got this car because we've been doing this business. Otherwise, we never would have even considered needing a car like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, you guys. And thank you for letting us learn together. Thanks for sticking with all of us. And we're so grateful you're part of the Zalise family.
Well, we just thank you.
We, you know, life would be completely different without you guys and Zalise and all of the team, because everyone has something for us to learn. When we go to the meetings, we watch Christina and Dr. Todd and Jenny.
Well, we raced to the restroom afterwards.
Oh, you know, but we watch all the people and all of your interactions with with your teams, and there's always something to learn from amazing people, which all of you are.
Yes.
So,
Thank
and
you.
I did see that Mary was here for a minute. So, but
She's still there.
Yes.
Okay, there.
Yay.
Well, and so let me just kind of shift gears, but you brought this up, and do you want to go?
You do it because I can't see it.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here just a minute, and we want to recognize the people who ended up on the enrollment leaderboard for November. And really, really proud of our team. You guys have really, really worked hard. I'm going to start with 25, Catherine Grudanis from Oregon, and 23, Maribel Torres from Arkansas. That was November. You guys, we only have 3 people on the December leaderboard, and Maribel is number 3. She's a new associate. We're really proud. This is her first elevation call, so we're really grateful.
Linda's her sponsor.
And Linda is her sponsor, and we're going to introduce her in a minute. So Linda Joyner was 22. She's from Indiana. We actually had, Patty Bug from Henderson, Kentucky, number 16. Beth Trent, number 15 from Evansville. Susan Everett, number 14 from Evansville, Indiana. Christina Durham, our hostess tonight, number 13 from Indiana. Hal and Lisa, number 12. Tina Parker, she lives in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. She's number 11. With Linda Painter, number 6. Sponsor. She is Maribel's sponsor. And she was actually number 2 on the U.S. leaderboard. And this is a great time to actually introduce her, because Linda is an amazing person. And just like Lorena said, you guys, this team, we learn from each other. It's every single one of us have really humbled ourselves. We've been good at one thing or another, maybe multiple career paths, and we humbled ourselves to come back to kindergarten and learn how to help more people. And Linda Painter, she lives in Rogers, Arkansas. Springdale, sorry. And she was introduced to us. In fact, Linda, I'm just going to bring you on. I want you to tell us just a little bit about your background and how you got introduced to Zalise and why you are tearing it up right now. You ended November #2 on the U.S. leaderboard. So, Linda Painter, I want you to unmute yourself and tell us about you.
I don't know where to start, but we've lived here in Northwest Arkansas since 2011. So I had to.
You and Randall.
Yeah, my husband and I, and we had to learn a whole new friends. And I really didn't have a lot of contacts, but I work for my church deacon, and I'm his private secretary, but I'm the only person there, and I don't see anybody. So I didn't have a whole big name list. But anyway, I was invited to a party, and Lisa was there, and I happened to tell her about my erratic heartbeat situation that I've been having for the last 10 years, that doctors want me to medicate me, that would only let me sleep all the time. And I didn't want to do that. So I have always been on a path looking for that the perfect for me, plant medicine. And Lisa introduced me to Zalise, and I was on it for 10 months. I guess the first thing I noticed was I was beginning to sleep, because I was only averaging 4 or 5 hours, and if I woke up, I couldn't go back. And I already know that sleep is so important, an important part to healing. So I would say that's the first thing I noticed. But I didn't at that time, for the next couple of months, really pay attention to my changes. But my heart was behaving for the next 6 months. It was during the summer, but I attributed it to the heat. It was warmer. But when I get thoroughly stressed, either by weather or whatever, I would go into what I call the episode. And it would be where my heart would just start skipping nonstop for hours. Sometimes I debate whether I'm going to go to the ER, but I know what they're going to give me, something to sedate me. So I just kind of like have to chill and bear it. And sometimes it would last a whole week. But I said, you know what? I'm taking the Zalise. I think I'm just going to take me an extra couple of extra more drops. And then I noticed, I felt this relief going down my neck, and I said, oh, I feel like I'm chilling, and then the next morning, the skips were gone. Now remember, once this started, it usually lasts a week. So I said, that's got to be a fluke. So I didn't say anything about it. I just went about my business, and then the next 2 months, I had another episode where I overstressed myself, and it started again. And I did this exactly same thing. I just gave me a little bit more Zalise, and it calmed me down. And the next day it was gone. So I said, this is really something special, because I have tried tons of products. None of them have ever helped me like this. So then that's the time I told Lisa, you know what, I think I want to start sharing this. And so that's how it started. So that's my story.
And Linda, you did a pretty amazing job when you said, hey, why don't we have a live class? So Linda calls it a class. And she said, my friend Maribel owns this amazing Airbnb and Rogers. And would you be open to coming to Rogers and let's do a class?
Yeah, right? Because,
Isn't that how it went, Linda?
Yeah, because that's because really and truly, this is an education. Because when I started using Zalise, I never attended a presentation. I never even knew the science behind Zalise. So I went on it on faith, because I immediately liked Lisa, and I was desperate. I forgot to mention to you that before I got on Zalise, I was getting depressed, that I was even telling my husband what I wanted to be buried in. Because when your heart starts going crazy, you don't know if this is it, you know? And even though I've been having this for 10 years, sometimes it just acts weird. So you just don't know, okay, this is it, you know? But I was telling him, I want to be buried in my white muumuu. And he was like, why do you talk like that? But anyway, so for me, it's very important that people become educated on what makes the CBD so different. And so that's why I call it a class. And when I invite people, I say, would you like to get educated in health and wellness? Because this is a really true education. So that's, you know, and that's why I call it a class.
Well, and one of
Anything
the
else?
very first people, goodness gracious, feedback. One of the first,
You have to unmute, Lisa.
one of the first people that you introduced to me, Linda, was that beautiful woman sitting over to your right, Maribel. And I would love for you to introduce Maribel, our newest associate in Zalise, and tell us why Maribel decided to join you.
Have Maribel tell us.
Have Maribel tell us.
Oh, me? Well, I start because because Linda, and she said, you need to come to this class. We need to do something because you need to learn about this, and you need to share it with the Hispanic community. And I said, okay, I agree. And that's how I started with Linda, and I really like the product too. I've been trying it for almost 2 weeks, and I really like it. It's been
And you did a
helping.
beautiful, you did a beautiful job of translating in our last class last week.
Yeah,
Maribel.
with the Hispanic people, yes.
Because we're always together, I'm always spewing out a lot of things to her. So she's finally absorbed them, and then now she just can come right out.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. So Maribel, with opening her Airbnb, which is like it was her home, and she turned it Airbnb. She's a Arkansas, and you know but the way both these women carry themselves is casually professional. They both are very beautiful souls. They're beautiful people. They love people. They're very articulate. They represent Solis, but they represent themselves really well first. And they've attracted people to them. But here's the thing. Both of them, like 2 and 3 times a week, they're like, hey, we need to have another class. We got some more people. We need to do another class. They're in motion in a pro phase. But we've been saying needs to happen. And they're following up, they're doing 3 calls. They both are really doing what it takes to become successful and to help other people become successful. And so I just want to, I see it. They may not think I'm as engaged as I am. I'm really, but I'm so happy and proud for you guys that you're doing this and you're helping people. It's a huge part of what we're doing. So.
And here's the cool thing too. You never know when you meet somebody what they've in the past. And I was really fortunate that Linda had built businesses in the past. She's been in other direct selling companies, and we're hoping that this month is going to be her biggest check in the direct selling industry, because she has done an amazing job. She's now a community ambassador, so she's surpassed 1,000 BV in volume and more. And she was not even sure exactly how she got paid. So her question to me today was, so how does Zalise pay? So she has not yet gotten her paycheck.
It's coming in a couple of weeks.
Will you keep us posted on that, Linda?
Yes, of course. I'm learning something new every day.
And so here's the other cool thing. So we're 5 hours from Dallas, and Tuesday evening there's an event in Dallas that Angie Thompson, CEO, and Bo and Louise,
Jingle Mingle.
the Jingle Mingle. And I was, what would you think about a trip? And Linda, what did you all say?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to pack.
And Maribel said,
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready too.
so the beautiful thing is that these guys are in motion and they're staying in motion.
Who else is going? Isn't Nancy going?
I think Nancy's going. And is that it? Just the four of us? Yep. We're gonna head
Yes.
to Dallas.
Well, Nancy though came. I mean, she's brand new. You know, she's a very smart person. You know, she had great questions, but she came to one of those meetings up there. You know, when you have a live meeting and people come, it gives them an opportunity to find out things and try things. And now Nancy's, I think, possibly going to Dallas with y'all.
Yeah.
They're all going. It's awesome. That's, you know.
So,
Anyway.
So Linda, what are you most excited about Zalise?
That it's helped me so much without having to go under medication, and that it's helping a lot of people. You know, I'm not so much on the dollar sign part of life too much. You know, I always felt God has always provided for us, for our needs. And I like the fact that I can pay it forward. You know, God always answers our prayers. And I was praying for a miracle because I felt I was dying, literally. So, you know, God answers us, but you never know how he's going to answer you. And he answered my prayer through you, Lisa. And so now I feel I have a big obligation. There are a lot of people out there praying, and they may not tell you that they're hurting, they're suffering. So you just have to go out there and just share it to everybody and just pay it forward and just give that part of yourself out to everybody. Don't prejudge. And that's what I find very exciting. I'm excited about giving of myself to everybody.
That's so well said. Thank you so much. Really, really proud of you, and congratulations on your success. And we know that it's just going to continue for both of you guys. And we're looking forward to the road trip as well.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Well, I have one more question, and I don't know if Susan Everett, because I'm driving in the dark here. How's driving? I'm just talking, but I can't see my phone real well. So I wanted to bring Susan Everett to the line. And Susan, you had something that was really cool happen this week in the world of Zalise. And I wondered if you'd be willing to share it.
Well, okay. So at Thanksgiving, my niece, actually a great niece, was opening all the cabinet doors in the kitchen at my brother's house. And I asked her what she was looking for, and she said she had a headache. And she was looking to see if they had any kind of Tylenol or anything like that. And she said, "Do you have any?" And I said, "No, I threw that stuff away a long time ago." And I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "I have this splitting headache." And I said, "I got something for that," and walked away, grabbed my, and everybody talks about this. I don't know how many people on this screen I've heard say this same story. So it's nothing new, but I went to my purse, grabbed my little pump thing of topical, and I squirted her finger, and I said, "Now put this on both temples and the back of your neck." And I stood there and just talked to her and just kind of shot the shit with her a little bit about what it was and was going on. And pretty soon she's looking at me smiling, and I go, "What?" She goes, "My headache's gone. What is this stuff that you gave me?" And so that just started a whole conversation. It opened a door, and she's been suffering with seizures for a long time, and it tries to do without the gabapentin, but can't all the time. And so she started the CBD CBG to see if she can, if that will control her seizures. So, and it's just awesome. It's really the first time in years that I've been able to kind of crack a door with her. So it's awesome.
I love the testimonial that you shared with me, Susan. And, how many years have you been in Zalise?
4 years, maybe a little longer, something like that. 4 years, I think.
And have you ever been frustrated?
Yes. Yeah. I always laugh about it. And I told her this afterwards. And I said, you know, when we were talking, I said, you know, my brother and sister and my sister-in-law, you know, obviously Judy's on this call, you know, they all take product, they believe in it and everything, but their children, that generation, with the exception of Lisa Carter, all of the rest of them, they will not even talk to us. And so this girl, JC, is the next generation down. She's really a great niece. And so I just told her that. I said, I am so happy to help you. And I said, because I've been so frustrated with your parents and their siblings. And so we had a good conversation about that. So yeah, a lot of frustration.
Well, and the other neat thing, Susan, and you know, being in it 4 years, you are one of those people, like you and the Todds, and you know, the people who show up on this call every other Sunday, come hell or high water. You're here, you and Judy and your team, and you had something else very significant happen with this platform.
Are you talking about Linda Joyner?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really been awesome. I met Linda through church, and you know, I got her to try some products. She was interested. She tries a lot of different healthy products. You know, some of the things that Linda Painter was just saying kind of reminded me of her, that she had searched for a lot of different products because of some health issues. And I talked her into trying something, but gosh, it was kind of a love-hate relationship for a while. She was like very leery of everything, and just, you know, was just non-believer and just really not like Linda Painter. She was very, had like a wall built up. And then finally she got a ton of pain relief in her arm. And when she did, everything changed. And so now, you know, stay out of her way, man, because she is rocking and rolling, and she's talking to people all the time. She's already signed up 2 people. And I mean, the minute she became a believer, she is not going to get stopped. It's awesome.
Well, she also, you know, with your encouragement, and we had met her briefly at the hospital when she was working as a chaplain. We visited there, but she made the commitment, a time and money commitment, to come to Dallas in October, and was there with us. And not just there. I mean, she shared her shrimp with me from dinner. You know, yeah. I mean, it was like jumbo shrimp, and Linda shared. And we were just, you know, it's the relationships, guys. Time together gives you an opportunity to build those relationships. And so Linda's we love her. It's so fun.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, Hal, you really hit nail on the head, because really being around people at that conference was a huge, I mean, that was the next piece that kind of sealed the deal for her as a corporation. She's done some direct selling before. And so she kind of had all those walls built up of direct selling and the you know, the foo-foo and the, you know, the things they tell you that aren't really real and things like that. And so, but when she was there and she met a lot of the people that are here on this call, and she had conversations with you, you don't know how important your conversations were with her, because it made her just feel comfortable around people. And then especially meeting Luis and Bo firsthand, that was really a huge change too.
Well, and so it's been really fun, because we've been able to work with Linda, and she's now associate, and she's got, you know, 2 good team members. And you really, I think for the first time, other than, you know, your sister had to follow you, because we would both force her.
We might lose this call, by the way.
And if we lose you guys, we'll jump back. But we're traveling in kind of a bad area right now. But this is kind of the first opportunity that you've really tasted leverage. Would that be true, Susan? How does it feel?
Yeah, it's very true. I've thought I had it before a couple of times, and then it would just totally go away. And so, you know, it still makes you kind of feel like you're walking on eggshells. You know, it's like you don't want to screw it up. But yeah, it's an awesome feeling to have somebody that you've reached out to. 1, you've helped them, so that's a great feeling. You've helped them physically, and then 2, you've helping them, and you know, helping them help other people, and you know, hopefully helping them financially too. So yeah, it's an awesome feeling.
Well, and so you said something, you know, about, you know, making sure you don't screw up. Have you ever felt like a failure in this business in those 4 years?
Yes.
Well, I say that because I'm reminding you of the times that all of us have felt like, we suck, we failed, and one of the things I love the most about Zalise is this is the most forgiving platform that you can imagine, that literally it's only the courageous people that have stuck with it for 4 years, feeling like we weren't good enough for whatever reason. And so, Susan, I just admire you, your perseverance and your ability to charge into a dark room when you're afraid of the dark, right? You have led the way, and we love doing life and business with you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, but I tell you, I know what Gina and Lorena are feeling right now, because when Judy and I spent some time in Arkansas, and it's the same whether you're at conferences or whatever, there's an energy that you get from Hal and Lisa, and not just that, it's like, we went out with Lisa and I, and Judy, the three of us, we went out hiking in a park and met people, and it just didn't matter who you met. Lisa had something to say to them, and people in a restaurant, and so it's so cool you can listen to Bo tell stories about how to do things, but when you experience it in action, it's so totally different. And it's such I can see why Linda Painter talks about it being a class, because it's a class that you're experiencing when you're with people like Hal and Lisa. And I've not had the privilege of being with Jenny and Steve Todd yet. I'm looking forward to that day, because I've heard that is even better. That's what I've heard.
That's right.
It's way better. It is, and we all aspire to head to Pensacola and spend some time with
Matter
Steve
of fact,
and Jenny.
we ought to just plan a trip down there. All of us, everybody at least we just need to go down there to Pensacola sometime.
Yeah, boy,
Hang
February
out
will
there.
be a good
That'd
month.
be a great month for that. Anyway.
Well, listen, Susan, thank you for sharing, especially unprepared. Well, you were prepared, but I didn't tell you in advance. But I did have you on my mind. And you guys, tonight we're gonna kind of stop early just because we're closing in on being home. But there are a lot of new announcements, and there was a special call on Friday at noon. I'm not going to go over all the details, but I do want you guys to consider it your job to get on Zalise University and watch the recording of that announcement with Louise if you haven't heard it yet. Honestly, guys, there are so many more incentives. There's so much more money on the table than there ever really has been. And I'm just going to be really honest, like, our volume is not what it was maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago with Zalise, but we are actually in the ballpark of making more money on lesser volume with all the promotions and all the bonuses and all the incentives. So I really want you to know what they are. And we want to help you with whatever goals that you have, but you got to write them down and you got to set them. So, so the recording from Friday, if you go to Zalise University, it was a Facebook Live. So all you do is scroll down and just look for Louise, and it's not going to be, it was very, very recent, so it's going to be pretty high up on the recording, but that's really where all of those December 1st or first of the month announcements are. They're recorded on Zalise University. So that's really what I wanted to say. Christina, I want to thank you for hostessing, and I want to thank you for your consistency and also being on the front lines. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
The 26th.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be in Evansville on the 26th.
Hey, Christina, will you make that announcement?
Archie and Clyde, 6 o'clock. We're gonna start, so sign in a little bit early. We're gonna have a Christmas party, so there'll be Zalise bingo again and some other things, but I'm not gonna go into all those details yet.
The 26th of December.
So
The
December
26th, Archie and
26th.
Clyde's.
And you guys should thank Christina. When I was in charge of meetings, they were always very, very boring. Christina brings all the fun. And so if you're within, a couple hours, you definitely want to come join us for good food and a lot of fun. And we love, you guys, being live with y'all. And Hal and I really learned a whole new dimension with Linda Painter. She and her team have said, let's do classes, let's do live things, let's do live meetings. And you guys, we have seen the spark of what that can do for business.
She's even said, "Hey, I'm coming to your house on Saturday, bringing people, so y'all better be ready."
Y'all better do a class. We ended up with a friend's giving because of Linda Painter.
It was great. She's really Linda's. I mean, everybody go find you a Linda and go find a Linda and
You
then
keep
find a
them
Maribel.
busier.
Absolutely.
She keeps
So-
everybody busier.
She
That's
does,
right.
doesn't she, Maribel?
Yeah.
So the only thing standing between you and your goals is you. So if you need our help, text us. We're here for y'all. And thanks again, Christina, for hosting this. Thank you, Linda and Susan. Thanks, Gina and Lorena and Mary. It was great to see you guys in Arnold, Missouri. We'll be there again.
Soon. Very
Awesome.
soon.
Have a good one,
Much love.
everybody.
Drive
Thank you,
safely.
guys.
Go rock
Good
out this
night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Nice to meet everybody.